Pranjal, can you hear me? Just wanted to check the audio and all.
Yes, Naveen, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, great. So I will
Yeah.
just, have you used GoToMeeting?
Yes, I have used, yes.
Okay, that will allow you to share your screen.
Right. So once the session starts, I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Nabil, I'm not the organizer. Can you make me the organizer also?
Sure.
So we might have a smaller audience this time compared to the usual because we didn't get sufficient time to advertise about it.
Right.
So anyway.
Mhm.
So we'll start in a few minutes. We still have some time. Thank you. So we'll give a couple of minutes for some more people to dial in, and then we'll start.
Sure.
Okay, I think we'll get started. Let me just do quick introductions and then we will start. Okay, welcome to the Noida user group session. This is our first session in 2022, and we have been running this user group since about 3 years. And the last couple of years, this is all virtual. So we are continuing with the virtual session today. My name is Naveen Gabrani. I'm the founder CEO at Estria. And we also have Nida here, who is a senior consultant. She's based in Europe. She's also a group lead for this. Okay, so these are the Twitter handles and all. So if you find a slide interesting, we'll appreciate if you can tweet using these. So let me just cover a quick agenda for the day. So we're planning to have about 90 minutes session today, and we will start with the journey builder kind of demo. So we have Pranjal here with us today. So Pranjal has about 10 years industry experience. So he's a senior marketing cloud consultant. And he also has been working on Marketing Cloud for about 4 years. So Marketing Cloud is a relatively new product in the Salesforce ecosystem. So there are not many consultants in the Indian market who have 4+ experience. So in this session, we'll basically talk about Marketing Cloud in general. What are the products that are included in this product suite? And the focus will be on Journey Builder. And we'll look at some scenarios of how real industry scenarios can be implemented using Journey Builder. We'll do some quick demos as well. In the next session, we have Anand. So Anand he's got a couple of years of experience in Salesforce. He's an expert on Health Cloud as well as Marketing Cloud. So this is a rare combination. So in a short time, he has built a lot of he's done a lot of complex projects in both Health Cloud as well as Marketing Cloud. So he'll talk about transferring data through SFTP server from Marketing Cloud. Again, we'll do a quick demo and all. So our goal will be to spend about 90 minutes and kind of finish this by 8:30. So you can have dinner on time. Okay, so let's get started, and I'll hand it over to Pranjal to talk about Journey Builder. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Naveen. And good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is healthy and doing well. So I'll go ahead and quickly share my screen. Okay, so everyone can hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Okay, great. Right. So as Naveen has already informed that our main agenda for today will be, going through an overview about Marketing Cloud, and then maybe some live demo of Journey Builder, some examples, and what all stuffs are there within Journey Builder. So without wasting any time, I'll go ahead and yes, quickly before I go ahead with this session, just want to tell you one thing. See, if I have to learn anything as in a new thing, okay, I believe more in practical side of that, okay, because so this is the reason I have not added much of the theoretical information in these slides, because you'll get all the information if you'll Google it. There are a lot of help documents, everything is available. Okay, so this is the reason I'm not involved. I will not be focusing on the theoretical information. More I'll believe is we'll go through the practical aspect. So it would be easy for you to correlate. Let's say in future if you'll go through it, and so that it would be easier for all of you to correlate that, okay, we have already seen this, and so this is how it is. So I believe it sounds good for all of you. Okay. Right, so I'll go ahead with this session now. So just quick introduction to Marketing Cloud. What is SFMC? SFMC is a digital marketing platform created to ensure that marketers manage, build, and improve their marketing relationship with the clients, partners, and vendors. Now, how this is done, or in very simple language, if I'll tell you what is Marketing Cloud, okay, everyone, let's say every organization, every company, they want to brand their name, they want to market their name, okay, they want to increase their business, they want to increase the revenue, they want to grow within the market. Okay, there are thousands of companies, there are thousands of individuals working as entrepreneurs, so everyone wants to grow. So here Marketing Cloud comes into picture, where okay, I'll give you a very simple example. Let's see, I'm here, okay, you all are there, everyone is marketing ourselves. Okay, we all of us, okay, are marketing ourselves. How? You have your Facebook accounts, you have your Twitter accounts, you have your Insta accounts, you post videos, you post photos, you post your ideas, everything. What you are doing exactly, you are marketing yourself, you are branding yourself. So now let's say I am a company, I'm an organization, I have many ideas in my mind, okay, which can help my company grow. So I have the ideas, but I don't have the right platform which I can use to connect with my customers, okay, or to market my the ideas that I have. So I came to know about a thing known as Salesforce, a company known as Salesforce. I'll go ahead, I'll contacted them. Then I came to know, okay, that they have a platform known as Marketing Cloud. Now, what is Marketing Cloud? So quickly, I'll go ahead and show you. Okay, this is Marketing Cloud. Okay, maybe right. So you can see there are different apps or studios, I would say, within Marketing Cloud. So I'll open this instance. Okay, can everyone see this?
Yep.
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Right. So this is the Marketing Cloud instance. This is how it looks like. And this is the main page of Marketing Cloud. Okay. Now, maybe if I'll go ahead quickly with this, I'll divide this page into 3 parts. Okay. Where the first part would be the top part. You can see this. Maybe I can name it as a title bar. And the second one, maybe a toolbar, an apps bar. And the third one is the canvas, the main canvas that is there. So now, if I talk about the title bar, on the left-hand side, you can see the Salesforce Marketing Cloud logo. Then we have the calendar option. It is as simple as that, or I would say it's exactly the same as the calendar that you use anywhere in your cell phones, in your laptops, everywhere. So the functionality of this calendar will again be the same. Campaigns, where if you have scheduled any campaigns in the past, or if they are in upcoming campaigns, you can go ahead, you can check it out here. Now on the right-hand side, you can see this Salesforce partner written here. What is this? This is basically the name of the business unit. So now the platform that you can see here, this is one of the business unit. Now it depends upon the requirement. It depends upon the business. Okay, how large it is. You can go ahead and maybe contact the account owner of Salesforce, and maybe accordingly you can buy the licenses for n number of business unit. So this is the name of the business unit, and then you can see MID, and then there is a number in front of it. What is MID? MID is a member ID. Member ID is basically, it is every business unit has a dedicated member ID to it. So this would be unique. Now on the right hand side, you can see my name appearing there. So I am a user. Okay, why my name is there? Because I am a user in for this Marketing Cloud account. So I am logged in as Pranjal Dixit. So this is the reason my name is appearing here. Now on the right hand side, you can see these different options. See, time permitting, okay, I won't be going deeply into it, but just the main options, and the very important option that would be there is the setup option. I'll go through it once. Okay, so now on the left hand side, you can see certain options like users. As the name suggests, what you will, if you will click on users, you would be able to create users. You will be able to see all the existing users. If you want to disable any user, you can go ahead and create it from this option. Then business unit, same as users. If you click on this, you would be able to, you will come to know how many business units are there enabled. If you want to create any new business unit, or maybe if you want to delete any business unit, you can go ahead and do it from here. Then we have data management option. If you click on this, you can see different options like FTP accounts, file locations, key management, parameter management. Now coming to the FTP accounts, I believe that Anand would be going through it. Okay, he will be telling you exactly what is FTP, how it is work, and maybe the import export thing he will be explaining you. But this is very important, the FTP part. So Anand will be telling you about this. Then we have parameter management. This comes into picture when you are using WAC, that is Web Analytics String. In the email, if you're using it, then maybe you have to go ahead and click on this. Okay, right. An option of apps here. If you'll go into apps, you can see different options like Salesforce integration, install packages, Google Analytics integration. Now, what is Salesforce integration? This is very important part these days, where integration comes into picture, where when you have a Marketing Cloud connector installed within Marketing Cloud, okay, and you want to integrate Marketing Cloud with CRM, as in the Sales and Service Cloud. So for this, you have to have a Marketing Cloud connector. Now, feature settings, where you have content builder, where okay, what I'll be doing any which ways, I'll be going through all this once I'm outside of it. Okay, and then we have Einstein. This is really interesting. Why? Because and this is particularly new in Marketing Cloud. and there are a lot of options. And if someone is really interesting, you can at any point of time you can go ahead and maybe learn about Einstein settings, the send time optimization option that is there, the Einstein engagement scoring, and these two options. Don't worry, I'll be covering it when I'll be telling you about Journey Builder. I'll show you a live example there. Then under settings, we have company settings where we have account settings. If you'll go into it, there will be the basic company settings where you want to name exactly how it should appear, and the IP warming thing and everything comes here. Brand builder. Now, what is brand builder? Brand builder is something, as I inform you, that every organization wants to market the company's name, brand the company's name. So when you use brand builder, if you want to you create logos here. Okay, you brand your name, the company's name, the organization name. So let's say if you are receiving an email from Astria's end, you can see Astria's logo there. What it is? It is branding. Okay, so and this is how any companies grow, any individual also grow. So this is all about it under this setup option. Now I'll go outside it. No, okay. Now the second tile or the bar that I was talking about, the tools bar or the apps bar, I would say. Okay, now the very first studio that we can see here is Email Studio. I'll click on this. Now on the top, you can see different options, okay, or different tabs, where first one is the overview. You can already see this overview function here. Now the second one is the content. Now if you click on content, what is this option? Basically, this is content builder, okay, where you go ahead, you create emails, okay, you track them, okay, and so specifically for creating emails, this option is there, content builder. Now we have a subscriber tab here where you can see all subscriber. What is all subscriber? This is a list, all subscriber list, where all these subscribers, the contacts that are there in Marketing Cloud, you can go ahead and you can check it. So all the contacts will be here in all subscriber list that are there in Marketing Cloud. Now there are lists, group, the options of list, group, profile management. So these are all different options where, and also you can see data extensions. Now data extensions are again of different types. These are the standard data extension. Then we have synchronized data extensions, shared data extensions. Then coming to the list thing, again, lists are of different types, like publication list. Okay, we have suppression list, we have exclusion lists also. Okay, then we have data filters and measures. Measures are not used anymore. Okay, so there are many options apart from it. Data filters, yes, they are still being used. So coming to the list and data extension part, again, there is a difference between list and data extension, where data extension is much easier to use, and if you have a large number of audience or contacts or subscribers, then you can go ahead with data extension. But list is comparatively easy in comparison to data extension. Then you have interactions option, where you can see different type of emails, and basically these are the kind of email sends, like user initiated emails, Salesforce send emails, triggered emails. What are triggered emails? These are real-time events. So whenever an event occurs, it triggers an email, and so it triggers that event, and suddenly the email will be sent. And then we have A/B testing. This is again something which is really interesting, where okay, I'll just explain you very, very quickly, where you create two versions of an email. Okay, let's say email A and email B, and you set some criteria, okay, where any one of those versions will be the winner, either A or either B. And then you have your subscribers, you have your customers, you send both the emails, both the versions of the email, and depending upon the criteria that you have set, okay, you will get a response. And the outcome of it, let's say the version A has got 65% responses and the B has got 35, so A will be the winner. So then you will finalize that, okay, the email A, you have got responses, many responses, so then you will finalize it, and then you will use that version for your final campaign. So for this purpose, A/B testing is used. Now this is the tracking option, where you have different options like sends, reports, data. So within Sense reports, I'll show you. It will be there in one of the builder. Okay, I'll show you this option. This is again something which is very important. Sense option, where you can track, you can go ahead and check all the emails sent that are there. Okay, see, you can see here, these are the tracking. You can see my tracking. Now the name of the email is here, the when it has been sent, the status of it, okay, whether it is completed, it has been cancelled, or it has been errored, whatever status is there, you can find it here. Then you can see how many emails have been sent, the CTR rate, the click-through rate, then the open rate, how many of them have opened the emails, and the deliverability rate. So to how many of them it has been delivered or not. So you can find it everything here. Now job ID. Now this is something which is really important. Generally in case of email testing or email marketing, whenever you are dealing with email, specifically into Email Studio, you have to deal with this job ID many a times, where let's say you have sent an email to a large campaign, but now you want to find that why it has not been sent to all the customers, or to all the subscribers that are there. Then you have to have this job ID for that particular email sent. Okay, so I'll tell you, once you send in once you perform an email send, then and there itself, automatically this job ID will create it. So it will be unique, and for each email sent, there will be a specific job ID. So if you are if you know SQL queries, so you can go ahead, you can run queries, and as per your requirement, you can go ahead and enter the job ID there in the queries. You can, and then you can find out all the details, that why it was not sent, and maybe why it was bounced or unsubscribed, whatsoever the reason is. Now going back to this is all about Studio. Then we have Mobile Studio. This is something which you use when when you want to send SMS, MMS push notifications to customers. Then you go ahead and use Mobile Studio. Okay, where you have to have a mobile connect for that. Now Social Studio. This is something which is really on boom in today's time, where you connect with your customers using the social platform. Like Facebook, Insta, Twitter, again, all the social platform that you use on a daily basis. So this is one of the very strong tool, I would say, okay, to connect with your customers and to increase, to market yourself and stuff like that. Then you have Advertising Studio. It's same as Social Studio. However, there are advertising audiences, so it's a bit different in this case now. Then you have Web Studios, where Cloud Pages comes into picture. If you know how to create a cloud page, where within Cloud Page, if you create a landing page, if you have created a landing page, microsites. So how it works, you have your website, okay, your customers are there, they land into that page, okay, the landing page that you have created, they enter their details like name, last name, contact details, email address. So this is how the lead is generated, and then that individual becomes your customer, and then you start sending the notifications. And so this is how the Web Studio works. Interaction Studio, we'll skip this as of now. Then we have Analytics Builder, where you have two options, Datorama reports and reports. So this is something which I was telling you about. Coming to the reports part, reports. Now what are reports? If you have performed any email send or within this Marketing Cloud platform, and you want a report for that, okay, where how many of them have sent, and what all were the outcomes of it. So you have certain standard reports, okay, or if you want, you can go ahead and create custom reports also for that. Now you can see on the left hand side, these are the channels where if you want to select email, the Journey Builder reports, if you want the mobile push, mobile connect reports. So all the reports you can see on the left hand side, and as per your requirement, you can go ahead and click on the reports, and you will get the reports. Now there are three options by which you can get the reports. Either you can send the reports to FTP, that's the file transfer protocol, again, that Anand will be telling you about. Second option, if you want, you can send the reports to your individual emails. And the third one, if you want the report, you can see the report in front of you, then and there itself. Okay, now right, Datorama report. These are more filtered reports. Okay, it will give you a more clear picture of the reports, and it will deep dive into the reports. The general reports are just the reports, but Datorama reports are, it will deep dive into the reports and it will give you a more clear picture about the details and more details, a fine report, basically, I would say. Then we have Journey Builder option. I'll just cover it because this is our main topic for today. So I'll skip this as of now. Then we have Content Builder. Now, you can access Content Builder by two ways. One is the by Email Studio that I showed you, content option. And then the second option is by going through Content Builder, where you can go ahead and create emails, and you can, you can track them. And there are standard templates provided by Marketing Cloud. Most of us use those standard templates, and then we create emails. Then we have Audience Builder option, under which we have Contact Builder. Now, this is again something which is really very important, where you have options for data designer. You can go ahead and create attribute groups. You can set data relationships. Now, there are two ways by which you can create data relationship. One is through Email Studio and one is through Contact Builder. But there are limitations for Email Studio, okay? But for Contact Builder, you can at any point of time go ahead and create data relationship between, maybe let's say a couple of data extensions, 3 data extensions. It's totally up to you. Einstein, if you remember, I was telling you about Einstein. It is one of the really interesting topic that is there, okay? And because it decreases your work, okay, because it do most of the work on its own, okay? This is how it has been designed. So when I'll be giving an example, when we will doing Journey Builder, okay, I'll show you an example, then you will be able to find out, okay, that this is how it works. Then we have an option of App Exchange. This is something which you use if you want to integrate your third-party apps with Marketing Cloud. Then you can go ahead and use App Exchange. And then this is the main canvas. So this was all about just an overview of Marketing Cloud platform, how it looks like, what are the studios in it, okay? Because we don't have much time, okay, to cover each and everything, because there are a lot of things. If I'll go one by one, so maybe in future, definitely I can go ahead and show each of the studios and how it works, how it looks like, okay, deeply into it. So yeah, now our second point will be, okay, right. So we have done this. Now we'll quickly go ahead and do this Journey Builder now, okay? Introduction, there is no need for me to read this in front of you, because this is again the theoretical information. It would be good if I can directly go ahead and show you the practical aspect of it. Okay, Journey Builder canvas, we'll be going through it now. Okay, we'll start with Journey Builder now. Right. So within this option of Journey Builder, you can see Automation Studio is also there. So okay, we have a couple of minutes more, so I'll go ahead and show you Automation Studio, how it looks like. Okay, so now automation on the left hand side, you can see these are the automations. So any automation that you create, this is how you create an automation. You can see new automation. This is how on the left hand side you can see all the automations that are there that you have created. Okay, you can see all the automations. Now the folders for that, and then this is the main canvas where you can see name and description of the automation, the progress, as in if it is under progress, or maybe if it is running or if it is completed, everything about it, and where it was last run. And then let's say if I click on new automation, then you can see different activities within automation, where there are the starting sources for automation. There are two ways for that. Either it can be a scheduled one or a file drop automation. What is a schedule? Let's say you have to run an automation, so not today, maybe let's say tomorrow or day after tomorrow, so you will schedule it for that particular time. What is a file drop automation? This is something, if you have used this file drop as a starting source, now when this automation will run, it will run when there is a file available. Okay, as soon as the file drops into that particular automation, it will go ahead. So automation will run then and there itself. So this is all about the starting sources of automation. And then we have different activities within automation, like data extract activity. Okay, the most common activities are data extract, file transfer activity, where it will decrypt the file and it will transfer the file to the specified location or to the FTP or maybe to a safe location. Okay, and then we have a filter activity. We have a fire event whenever an event occurs, so the automation will start. So if you want to go ahead and use it, then import file activity, where it will go ahead and import the file, the data that is there. So, and then the most common are, yes, query, SQL query activities, script activities, send email, where if you want to send an email, okay, and you want to using automation, then you can go ahead and use this script. Then send push, okay, this is, and group connect, this is something again related to Mobile Studio. Okay, send SMS, all these things are through. And then this is a wait activity. Wait activity, by the name only suggests, it will act as a waiting step basically. Let's say you have extracted data, okay, you have used a data extract activity. Now maybe you have to import the file, or maybe you have to filter it out, or maybe after that you have to use a file transfer activity. So after data extract activity, or maybe import activity, you will use a wait activity, because sometimes what happens, if you are using all these activities back to back, okay, it can happen that the previous activity, the data is still coming. Okay, if there is a large amount of data, it can happen that the data is still coming. Okay, and so the other, because you haven't applied this wait activity there, so it will happen that the next activity that is there, it will start, but the data is not available at that point of time, so it will fail. So this is how the automation fails. So these are some of the common reasons for this. So this was just an overview of Automation Studio. Now our main point for today is Journey Builder. I'll go ahead with Journey Builder now. So you can let me know if you have any questions. Okay, you can let me know at any point of time. Right. So Journey Builder will start from the entry sources. But before that, I'll just show you how it is, how it looks like. These are all the journeys on the left hand side. Okay, and then again, this is the main canvas where you can see the journeys. These are the name of the journeys. Okay, and the status of the journeys, whether it's running. Okay, it's in a draft, as in I have made it. However, it's just for testing purpose or something like that. It's in the draft status. If I want to go ahead and activate it, then it will come into the running status. And when it was last modified. Okay, this is all about the main page of Journey Builder. Now I'll go ahead and show you how it is, how the journeys are created. Now there are three options for this. Transactional send journey, this is something which you this is specifically for API events. Okay, I'll tell you how it works. Now single send journey, if you just want to, it's a quick journey basically. If you if there are not lot of information available at that point of time, and you just have you want to send an email to, let's say, any number of customers, you can go ahead and use this single send journey. But in general, multi-step journey is used, and this is the one only that you would be using when you will be using Journey Builder. So I'll go ahead and show you now. These are now the main things, like entry sources, activities, flow control, okay, which I'll be telling you about now. So going ahead now, first of all, what is Journey Builder and why it is used? See, again, see, everything it rolls around where we at the end will come to one point only, where we have to contact our customers, okay, in the best possible way, and we have to we have to make sure that we get a response, a maximum response from our customers, okay, in the best possible way that we can. So this is how this is why the journeys are created, where there are a lot of things that are gauged, okay, before sending an email, okay, or before contacting the customers. So those are the things that we will be discussing, then how it works, how everything is gauged, and to improve the performances. Now we'll start with entry source. Entry source is something, by the name only suggests that this is something which is used at the entry, the very first step of a journey. Okay, and as I informed you that this is a multi-step journey. So the very first and the very common entry source uses data extension. And even if all of you also, whenever in future also, if you will be using a Journey Builder, this is the most common entry source that everyone will be using in the coming time. So data extension here, I'll show you how it works. So you click there, okay, in data extension, then you have to select a data extension. Okay, so let's say there's a demo data extension that I made, test_journey. Okay, so maybe I'll go ahead and see now what I have done. I have clicked on data extensions. I have selected a data extension. Now, if I want to filter context, I can click on this and I can filter context, but it's a long process, so I won't be going at it. It totally depends upon the requirement that is there. But I'm telling you, so whatever I'm telling you right now is for your clarification and to clear your basic funda about Journey Builder, how it is, how it works, okay, and what you can do from by the use of Journey Builder. Now this is, you click on summary, then click on done. So now this is ready, as in the entry source, you have selected a data extension, it is ready, it is showing as record count as 4. So basically 4 records, 4 contexts are there in this particular data extension. Now what I'll be doing as of now, I'll delete this, okay, because I'm not going forward with other activities, because I'll show you one by one. I'll show you all the entry sources that are there. So this is very simple data extension. You just have to click on it. You have to go ahead and select a data extension, whatever data extension that you have to use. So I'll go ahead and remove this. Then the second one is the API event. By the name only suggests this is related to the API programming. Now let's say if you want to bring any data externally, okay, from externally into Marketing Cloud, and then you want to use it in the journey, then you can go ahead and use API programming. So now there are 2 options. If there is any API event already created, it will show here. However, since this is a very new Marketing Cloud instance, there is not much data available, and any which ways, no worries on that. So you can see we have an option of create an event. I'll click on this. Then as soon as I click on create an event, you can see event definition key is created. This is something which is automatically created by the system, and this is unique. Now I have to select a data extension. Okay, so I have selected a data extension. Everything is there. This is the summary part, as in if you want to cross check if you have selected the data extension correctly, if everything is there, the activity name, basically the journey that we are creating, when it is being created, last modified, location for the data extension, everything is there. We'll click on done, and the event is created. Now what will happen? The API programming that you will be doing at your end, it will search for this event definition key. So basically system will check for it, okay, and accordingly that context that are there that are coming through API event, as soon as it occurs, the context will enter the journey. Okay, so this is all about API event. So again, I'll not be going forward with other activities. I'll delete this. So this is just for your clarification purpose. Then we have an option of audience as an entry source. This is something which you use when you're using Mobile Studio. Okay, so we won't be using it now. Okay, then we have an option of cloud page. Though I don't think so there is any cloud page that is already been made, but I'll if you remember, I have informed you where you can see cloud page. It is available under Web Studio. Okay, where you have your if you have created any landing page or microsite where customers comes and enter their details. So as soon as customers enter their details, they will become your contact and they will enter the journey. So if you click on cloud page option, so yeah, so this page will appear where you have your smart capture form. If there is any smart capture form, it will appear here. Maybe all the content that is there, but as of now there is nothing to, but it is just like the main point is how it works. So this is how it works. Okay, so it's just about selecting and then summary and then again done. So I'll cancel it because there is no cloud page that is being made now. Okay, so I'll discard it. And so this is how cloud page entry source will work. Then inbound chat, this is something which you will use, I believe, maybe when you are using WhatsApp. So this is for that purpose, and this is very rarely used. Okay, then you have an option of Salesforce data. Now, as the name suggests, Salesforce data, as in the data will be coming through the CRM, the Sales and Service Cloud. Now there are three options for this: either Salesforce Community Welcome, Salesforce Campaign, if there is any Salesforce campaign running, and then Salesforce data. So the most common option that everyone uses is Salesforce data. So just to show you, I'll click on this. Okay, and then next. Now see, here you can see there are 5 options where we have to select an object: entry criteria, filter criteria, entry data, and summary. First of all, what we have to do, we have to select an object. Okay, will do, no worries. So this object will be definitely from Sales or Service Cloud. So let's say if we select any option from here, maybe, okay, account, let's say account, we are selecting account. Okay, created ID. So you can see on the left hand side, it has appeared here because we have selected it. So basically we have selected an object by the user ID, by the, you can see created by ID, as in the user ID. Next. Okay, now great. So we have selected the object, but how we have selected the object? We have selected the object using the user ID. I'll tell you, whenever when we go through all these steps, it will be more clearer for you. Now there are 3 options. What is the entry criteria that you want to select for this particular object that you have selected? Definitely there has to be a criteria, right? Because there will be many objects in a CRM, right? Everyone cannot enter the journey. So we have to select the entry criteria. Now there are 3 options: is created, is updated, or meets specific event criteria. So this will come into picture if you have very specific criteria, then you can go ahead and select this option. Is updated, let's say you already have an object, and whenever that object, any properties of that object gets updated or something like that, then you can go ahead and select this option. Or is created, if that object is created now, okay, you can go ahead and select that. Let's say for the time being, I'll go ahead and select this option, is created. Okay, now I'll click on next because I have set the criteria, the entry criteria. Okay, now the third one is filter criteria. Now why it is used? See, you have selected the entry criteria that when it is created. Now let's say at one point of time there are 100 of objects that are created, so everyone cannot enter the journey, right? So you have to now set a filter criteria. So let's say we can select any filter criteria. Maybe again, let's say we'll select created by user or something like that, or maybe we can select created date. Okay, we can take it. Okay, so created date equals today's date. So now what we have done, or maybe if you want, we can select one more filter criteria to more filter it, and maybe we can select email, maybe when email starts with, or maybe email, okay, yeah, maybe ends with, no, it starts with, anything like Willy. So what we have done now, we have selected the filter criteria. First of all, we have selected the object. Okay, then we have selected the we have defined the entry criteria. Okay, now what we are doing, entry criteria, what we have set as for new users, new objects that will be created in CRM, in Sales and Service Cloud, will go ahead and, so those will be selected. Now within those, we are selecting filter criteria, where we have applied 2 criteria, where the created date will be today. So all the objects that are created today, okay, and then the email for every one of them, for within them, if the email is starting with Willie, let's say anything, this is just an example, and then I'll do it as done. So I have set my filter criteria now. Then next, okay, now the entry data, we have to select the entry data. We can go ahead and select maybe account ID is there. We'll go ahead and select it as next. So this is the summary. So what all we have done as of now, we have selected the object, as in which object, the user, which will be identified by the user ID. Then we have selected the object as account from the account ID, and then the entry data, how we have selected it, and the criteria that we have selected. Then we'll simply go ahead and click on done. Okay, so now you can see this entry event has been created, the Salesforce, using the Salesforce data. Okay, so this is done now. So these are the only things that you have to do. Just remember that you have to select the entry criteria, okay, the filter criteria, because there are no real records or real data that we have. Otherwise I would have showed you, but it would have taken time also. But this is the basic funda behind it, how it works, how you select it. Even if you have a real data, it will appear like this only. Okay, so I'll go ahead and delete this, because it has been to show you the next and the last entry source, that is the event source. Now, as the name suggests, event source, as in whenever an event occurs. I'll click on this. Now there are two options, but you can see here this event will be retired soon, so any which ways we will not be going through this contact data option. We'll check the date based event. Okay, I have clicked on it. Now click on next. Now see, you can see, as the name suggests, date based event. So definitely you have to select something where date will appear, okay, which contains date. Now let's say I'm selecting anything, let's say chat message. Okay, you can see there is an option of created date. So this is just for an example. Okay, maybe I can go ahead and okay, so what I've done here is birthday will be a date, right? So, and re-entry, when it will re-enter, yearly, because for anyone, okay, birthday will come once in a year. There are certain exceptions also where but yeah, it's altogether a different thing. But yes, it will appear once in a year. Now when you want to send emails to them, let's say maybe you can scroll it. Let's say here you can see contact entry. When you want this contact to enter the journey, time is 12 a.m. repeat yearly, because birthday, let's say today is someone's birthday, then again next year it will appear on the same date. So and I want this email to be sent 2 days before the birthday, just as a kind of reminder, or maybe I'm wishing in advance or something like that. And then you can click on next. Then if you want, you can go ahead and select contact ID. Let's say maybe the contact ID equals to maybe greater than 555. Done. Okay, so this is the filter criteria that you have selected. So for everyone whose contact ID is greater than 555, they will now enter as an they will now act as a contact. And to everyone now who who fulfills this criteria, email will be sent to them. Okay, so this is the summary, what all you have done. Okay, done. And the entry event is created now. So now again, so all the entry sources have been done. You can let me know if you have any question related to any of the entry events. So for the time being, I'll go ahead and delete this. So now starting with, I'll select the data extension, because now I'll be going forward with activities. So I'll just go ahead and select the data extension for our further use, just for testing purpose. Okay, right. Now I'll go ahead with the second option. That will be, okay, so we are done with entry sources. Now we have activities, journey builder activities. So now within these activities, you can see SMS, WhatsApp, push notifications. Again, SMS, push notification. These all will be used when you're using Mobile Studio. Okay, so any which ways we won't be going through it now. Okay, WhatsApp, again, if you're using a WhatsApp, so it's all together now. It is very rarely used. Line message if you're using the Line app. So this is specifically for this purpose. Generally, everyone uses email activity. I'll go ahead and show you how it works. So I have dragged this and I have put it here. Now I'll select an email. Okay, so now you can see there are two options appearing. Either I can select a message, or maybe I can create a new message. So now I want a response from any one of you. If you want me to select a ready-made email, or if you want me to go ahead and create a new email and just show you, so it would be, you would be able to find out how you can go ahead and create an email. Maybe anyone can tell me if you want, or maybe I can use a ready-made. So you have both the options. Anyone? Can I get a response from any one of you? If you want me to select a ready-made email, or if you want me to show you how to create an email.
Prankar, just use an existing email, that's fine.
Okay, sure. Okay, thank you. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, I'll select an email that I've already created. Let's say, okay, test journey email, maybe. Yeah. And then this is the email that I have selected. Then we have a message. Then there are 4 options now. First one is the message definition, where we have selected an email. Message configuration, where you have options like, if you want to, which sender profile do you want to select, which delivery profile. So I won't be making any changes. You can see the subject line here, and then the pre-header of the email. So this is how the email will appear. Summary. Okay, done. Okay, so I have selected this email. So this was very simple. Okay, where you just have to drag this, okay, email activity. You have to select an email. If you want to go ahead and create an email, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, this is done for the time being. Now the another option we have is, okay, advertising, ad campaign, ad audience. Let's say I'll just show you how it will work. This is something related to the advertising studio. Since we don't have much data available, so I won't be able to select the data. So this is how it will appear. See, any which ways, it hardly matters now, because the base that is there, it has to be clear for every one of you, where how it works. See, at some point of time, definitely you will have the data with you, and then you can directly go ahead and select the data. But how it works, this is how it works. So where you just go ahead and the audience name, you can put the audience name, and then you can select the data origin, from where exactly do you want and how do you want the data to come from. Okay, and then you can configure it. But since under advertising studio, it has not been configured properly, so I would not be able to go ahead and show you further on this. But this is how it will appear. So I'll cancel it. So same for ad audience. Again, advertising studio will will be used here. Now the second point is flow control. Now this is something which is really very important, where if by the name, as you can see, flow control. Now all these things, all these functions that you can see, this will show you how the journey will flow, or how you can control the flow of a journey. Now I'll tell you this one by one. I'll delete this ad campaign. Okay. Okay. Wait by duration. Okay, we have to see. I have selected the flow control wait by duration. As the name suggests, duration is 1. So by default, it will be like this. Then, okay, you have selected a data extension. Now you want the context to wait for some time, okay, before you send an email to them. So now it depends upon your requirement, for how much time you want the email messaging to be delayed, to get delayed. So accordingly, you can select it, then you can select done, and this is how it works. I'll delete this now. Then wait until date. Now again, contexts are there. Now you can select the end date, till which date you want the context. Okay, you don't want the context to send the emails. You can go ahead and select the date and the time zone. As per your time zone, you can go ahead and select it. Now, wait by attribute. As the name suggests, wait by attribute, as in a data extension, let's say there are 5 different attributes like first name, last name. What are attributes? The the criteria, that you whenever you create a data extension, okay, and you import the data. So there are certain attributes by which you import the data, like first name, last name, contacts, email, anything. So I'll click on this wait by attribute. You have to select an attribute. Okay, now it has to be a date based attribute. Why? Because without date you cannot delay the process. You have time, basically time has to be involved there. So contact data and maybe chat message, anything you can select a created date. Okay, so this is how it will appear, because we don't have a real time data, so it is not appearing here. Okay, I'll cancel it, discard the changes, wait by attribute. So this is how it will work. Now wait until event. Now use an existing API or create a new one. So this you will use when you are using an API event. Okay, again, those 2 options are there when we saw this API event as an entry source, where there were 2 options. Either you can select an existing API, or you can create a new one. Okay, so as soon as the API event occurs, this contact will enter here. So basically this event will comes into picture, and then the email will be sent. Okay, now I'll go ahead with engagement split. Okay, wait. This email activity was also deleted, so I'll just go ahead and select it once again. Okay, now very important, splits. First we'll go through engagement split. Okay, now what is engagement split, why you will use it, and how to use it. So basically this is a split where it will split the path, it will split a contact depending upon the responses as yes or no. Okay, now let's say you have data extension is there. Okay, contacts are there, email is there, you have selected the data extension, you have selected the email, now you have sent the email. Okay, now as per the response from the customers, from the context, from the records that are there, okay, let's say Okay, I'll show you so it would be better for your understanding. Now select message. So we have selected this email. You can see here test journey. So it will appear automatically. So it has already been selected. Now, most important thing, metrics. There are 3 metrics by which you can, you have to select when you're using an engagement spread: opens, clicks, bounces. So which metrics do you want to use? Let's say I'm using opens. Okay, I'll click on summary, done. Now you can see here open test journey. Now this is a yes, this is a no. Why? So I have clicked, I have selected the matrix as open. So let's say if my contact opens the email that I have sent, that contact will go through this path. Okay, and if that contact has not opened the email, it will go through this path. So this is how engagement spread works. Now I'll go through, I'll show you another split, that is decision split. Now how it will work, or what is the purpose of decision split? Let's say you want to know if your contacts have purchased anything, okay, or if they are a part of your loyalty program or something like that. So but how you will
Pranjal,
come
can
to
we
know
wrap it up in a few minutes?
Okay, yeah, sure. So I'll go ahead, maybe just give me more 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, okay, sure, thank you. So okay, decision split, how it will work. Let's say if you have your customers, you want to know if they have purchased something or not, you'll go ahead and you'll click on decision split. There are paths. I won't be making any additional path 1. Okay, this is very important. Contact data and journey data. Many of us don't know the difference between this. I'll tell you in very simple language. Contact data is something which is the real-time status of a data, okay, of a contact which has already entered the journey. Okay, let's say we are in the middle of a journey and then we want to check the status of a data. That will be your contact data. And what is a journey data? Journey data is the snapshot of the contact when it has entered the journey. Okay, so the initial point, so it is just a snapshot, okay, when it has entered the journey. And maybe if in future, if you want to, the journey is already running, and if you want to check, if you want to differentiate between the current status and the status which was there in the beginning, then you can go ahead and check through journey data. So here I've selected any of the data, anything, contact ID, maybe, okay, anything, equals something, anything, summary. Okay, so okay, so this is how decision split will work. So what I've done here, I have selected contacts, okay, where contact ID for them equals 555. So they will go through this path, okay, and the remaining contacts will go through the reminder path that is there. Okay, now random split, again, this is very simple, as the name suggests. Okay, I'll click on random split. You can see by standard, there will, by default, there will be 2 paths, path 1 and 2, 50-50%. Click on done. You can see there are 2 paths created, 50%, 50%. Now what it will do, basically it will filter out the context, it will bifurcate the data that is there, just for a clearer picture of the context. If you have 100 contacts, 50 will go from this path, 50 will go from this path, but you will not have an authority which 50 will go from here, or because since it's a random split, it will randomly split the data. That's all. Then we have join. Okay, it's very simple. When you want to use a join, let's say I am using join in this path, I'll drag this and maybe I'll connect here. So now what will happen? So you can see here, this is the path which was followed by the contact. Contact has followed it. Now I want this contact to join this path, okay, the initial path. Then I'll use join, and so the contact will again go back to the initial path as per my requirement. Okay, now quickly, just 2 more are remaining. Einstein STO. If you remember, I informed you when I was showing you the Einstein functionality, okay, feature that will go through it. This is very interesting. What it will do, we'll use here Einstein STO as in time optimization. Okay, so what it does, you have selected your context. What it will do in the backend as per its functionality, it will give you, it will tell you when exactly you have to send the email to any contact. Let's say there are 10 contacts, so it will optimize, it will give you the more optimal time when exactly you can go ahead and send the email to that particular contact. Let's say, I am available at 3 p.m. so it will do all the calculations on his own, the Einstein feature. Okay, and then it will tell you, see, to these three you can send an email at 3 p.m. to the remaining you can send the email at 8 p.m. maybe, and there are more chances of getting a response. So this is very useful tool, and this is very strong tool, Einstein STO. And again, going ahead with scoring split, you can use it, Einstein split. Basically, I'll go ahead and select it. Now there are different options. Again, open likelihood, click likelihood. Let's say I'm clicking on click, add path. Okay, I'll select every one of these. Done. Now you can see here what Einstein split does. It has created 4 different paths. Now, most likely, more likely, less likely, and least likely. So it will send the contacts who are most likely, okay, to go ahead and give a response to you. So it will send those contacts from this path, a little less from this path, and accordingly it will work. So this is all about the journeys. And this, okay, now these options maybe I can cover after, maybe in future sometime, because any which ways for this Marketing Cloud connector will be required, and a proper data will be required for this you will be using when both the clouds are integrated. Okay, the Sales Service Cloud and Marketing Cloud, because this is something related to it. So but I think I've covered most of the things, the most important things that are related to Journey Builder. So yeah, this is it, because we have okay, so we have already done with the time now. So okay, Naveen, just one thing, if you can give me more couple of minutes, I'll show them Path Optimizer. This is really important. If just a couple of minutes more, you can.
Sure, sounds good.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So okay, so people, please bear with me for more couple of seconds, or maybe maximum 3 minutes. This is really very important and very interesting also. Create new journey, again the same thing, build, nothing new here. Data extension, select data extension, same thing again, I'm doing the same thing. Okay, because I want to show you how Path Optimizer works, because this is something new in Marketing Cloud, not that much new, but still most of us have not used it. Okay, so we have selected the data extension, we have selected the email activity. Okay, now we have already gone through most of them. Now Path Optimizer that I was talking about, okay, what it does, this is similar to A/B testing, where it will give you a winner email. Okay, quickly I'll select Path Optimizer. Now what I'll be doing, configure winner evaluation. Now there are 2 criteria for this: email engagement, manual selection. Generally you will use email engagement. Now there are 3 metrics, either through click rate, open rate. Let's say I'm selecting click rate. Okay, summary, done. Okay, 2 paths are created, 50%, 50%, since it is a starting point. Now okay, I have selected this email MC Connect test. Now because I have to I have to gauge a winner out of it. So okay, so what I'll do, you can see this option, copy activity. I'll copy it, I'll select this. You can see on the right hand side on the top, copy selection. On the left hand side, the activity has been copied. Now I'll drag this. Now I have got both the same emails that are there. Now I'll click on this, and just one change I'll make here, and that would be here, message configuration, edit. You can see subject. So now for the top one, the subject is Marketing Cloud Connect test email. So I will change the subject line of this. I can put any subject line, okay, and then I'll test it, and then it will give me a winner out of it, and then accordingly it will send the winner email to the remaining, to the contacts that are there. So I'll cancel it as of now, just for your. I believe it was helpful for you, and because this is really very good option if you want to, if you don't want to use A/B test, because it would be hectic for you. So you can go ahead and use Path Optimizer to select a winner email, and it will lessen your work also. So just last one thing, here under settings, you can see the contact entry. There are re-entry modes: no re-entry, re-entry anytime, re-entry only after exiting. As in, if you will select this option, no re-entry, when you never want the contact to enter the journey again, it will never enter the journey. Okay, re-entry anytime. So if the contact is entered now, and at any point of time again the contact can enter the journey, then you will select this option. And the third option, re-entry only after exiting. So journey is running, it has completed, contact has exited the journey, then only it can re-enter the journey. So these are certain options. So yeah, so I'm done from my side. If you have any questions, you can let me know, or we can let Anand talk about the FTP now. Over to you, Anand, then.
Thanks a lot, Pranjal. So Anand will
Thank
be
you.
talking about the SFTP connector for Marketing Cloud. Over to you, Anand.
Sure.
And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Pranjal. Can you just stop sharing your screen, please? Thank you. First of all, am I audible, everyone?
Yes, Anand.
Yes.
Okay, I'll just give GoToMeeting the permission. Just a sec. Okay. Just bear with me. I'll have to rejoin the meeting. So just a second. So the screen share option is grayed out for me. Could anyone just help me troubleshoot this?
Well, Anand, maybe you can click on it, and I believe that an option will be there for the organizer to give you an approval.
Oh, okay. I have clicked on it.
Anand, just give me a second. I think you're logged in through two ways, so just give me a second.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Can you?
Okay,
Do
I
you
got
have
the
that now?
option. Yeah.
Okay.
So is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes.
Great. So I'll just go over a few things that have been really useful to me in Marketing Cloud. So mainly to do with how to transfer data between Marketing Cloud and other services. So the use case that generally arises is that many companies have multiple different data sources, multiple different systems. For example, in the health domain that I work in, so they have one system for the medical data and one system for the, let's say, billing data, transactional data. So, and Marketing Cloud is there to do all the marketing jobs and marketing data. So we often need to basically connect these, and one option is to create a integration between two systems, but at times that could be very expensive. So in lieu of that, what we can do is we can use the FTP feature that Marketing Cloud has to share data. So just to go over that, so it's a file transfer protocol, and as Pranjal showed you earlier, if I go to my Marketing Cloud instance, I can show you where the FTP accounts can be set up. So under data management, if I go to FTP accounts, what we can see here is that there is an endpoint URL or an FTP URL up at top. And also we have accounts that can be created that can access data on this URL. So by default, Marketing Cloud gives us 3 such accounts that we can use with any number of applications or any number of automation to basically fetch data or store data in Marketing Cloud. So if I go back to the slides, so the configuration of these users is quite easy. You just have to create a new user and you have the option of either selecting a password or using an SSH key. So that can be created in the formats that Salesforce specify, and then you can update it to Marketing Cloud under key management. So this would be a, let's say, an RSA key or something else, right? So that is how you generally basically create your account. And the next thing would be to connect to this, use this account to connect to the Marketing Cloud instance. So I'll just open up FileZilla. FileZilla is a very simple to use and open source and free FTP client basically. So again, here I have the options that I just saw on the FTP screen. So that would be the FTP endpoint along with the URL, along with the username and password. So I can just connect to the server. And in the directories, you can see on the right that I can now access the internal folders that Marketing Cloud provides at this FTP location. So that is how you connect to the server, basically. Have even you can add multiple options for login, like whitelists or IP addresses. So again, now if we move forward, so after basic authentication, we have to worry about the file structure that Marketing Cloud's internal FTP server has. So the basic file, so these are called file locations in Marketing Cloud. So the basic option is your normal import output directory that is created by default. But one interesting and important thing is also that you can use here is that you can connect to AWS S3 buckets. So let's say if I go back to this use case diagram, if suppose you have a data warehouse, which is based on AWS, you can directly connect to the S3 buckets there and you can transfer your, let's say, marketing analytics data or fetch your latest transactional data or lead data from there. So it's a very, FTP is very useful for connecting these disjoint systems basically. And especially in the medical industry, that is a very big problem that needs to be solved. So that's just a file location that I have already created. Now, if I can just go ahead for a use case demo. So one use case would be to import subscriber or lead data into Marketing Cloud. So you can always do that using a Salesforce integration or using CSV files, but there are certain limitations there. For example, if the data is larger than 20 megabytes, then you have to use SFTP to import it into Marketing Cloud. So I am just navigating to the subscriber to the data extensions. So this is Marketing Cloud's internal way of handling storing the data. It is similar to a database systems, let's say a table or a Pardots list. So we have a sample data extension here along with the fields that we want that the data will have. So now if I go to my desktop, I have a sample file here. So it's a sample CSV file with data in it. So this could be like stored on any client or any other data system may have an option to export CSV files. It's very common. It's a very common file format to move data around. So if I go back to the SFTP the connection I have to the server, I can go to the import folder and I can then just copy this CSV here. So currently I'm doing this manually, but I can also set up you can also set up a Python script or a script to automate this process. So demo contacts is already here. So I'll just import this data in Marketing Cloud from that FTP location. Again, it is very straightforward. You just select your FTP option and you enter the file name. And the system should automatically, if your CSV file has the headers, it should automatically map the data for you. And then you can just import it. Generally, you can also use a CSV file for this, but as I've mentioned, like you can directly import it here, but as I've mentioned, if it's more than 20 megabytes, or if you want it to be on an automated process, let's say if your system is exporting data every day, you can automate that using this method of using the FTP server. So I'll just reload the page to see if that data got imported. So if I go to that data extension again, I can see that the records were imported. And if there are any errors, then you can select the email ID on which you can get the log file for it. So that's a simple use case of getting data into Marketing Cloud using FTP. But the other way around for it could also be to export data from Marketing Cloud. So let's say, for example, you're running a journey for a customer experience. You get all the analytics out of it. So which customers clicked on it, which customers didn't open the email. You have all that data in Marketing Cloud. However, you can directly run reports there, but let's say you don't have the e-commerce data in Marketing Cloud. So you don't have whether a purchase was made, that data in Marketing Cloud. You have that in a separate system or in your data warehouse. So you need to match that data with the analytics data to see if a customer who was sent an email actually bought a product. So for that use case, we can again use FTP, the FTP server that Marketing Cloud provides, along with Automation Studio to get that data outside of Marketing Cloud. So if I navigate back to Marketing Cloud, I can go to Automation Studio, and Pranjal already went over these, so I'll be brief. I won't take much time. So one thing that we can do is we can extract the data from Marketing Cloud. So I already have an activity that is here, which is extracting basically unsubscribed data. So let's say you have an email campaign and you want to see how many users unsubscribed or how many users clicked on a particular link. You can do that here. So in the data extract activity, I'll give the file name, and it's important to label it as a CSV and also to remember the format that you have given here. And again, I've selected a tracking extract. So this is for analytics data. I can also export data extensions or even content from Content Builder. So I click next, and now it shows me all the options that I want to extract. So these are like all the clicks or bounces that the campaign contacts did. So all of these would be separate CSV files. So I can select all these, and I can then select the format. And I can also select specific account IDs if I have multiple Marketing Cloud instances, and also the range for which the analytics I want. So for 90 previous days, I can select that here. So I'll just click next. And again, it's a simple summary. And I will save the activity. So what is now important is that this data will not directly go to the FTP file location. First, it goes to the Marketing Cloud Safe House, which is an internal encrypted area that my Marketing Cloud has. So in order to move that to the FTP location, I have to then use a file transfer activity. So I will, again, I have this set up. I'll just show you the options. So I select move a file from Safe House. And then I use the same naming scheme that I used to save the data. And I select the destination here. So this is again the same file location that I showed you earlier. So if it had been set up, I could have set up an AWS bucket here also. So you could have transferred data to your data warehouse directly. So I click next, and then I save it. Now I can set up an automation using these activities. So you do that by clicking new automation here, as Pranjal showed you. So I have, so the activities I just showed you, I have put them in the workflow here. So the first step is to extract your analytics data, your unsubs data, and the second part is to transfer that to your FTP location. So this data will be stored in the export folder of your FTP. So I'll just let it connect. Okay. So I'll just run this. So it asks you which activities you want to run. But if you have it set up, you can have it set up to run every day, every week. It's up to your choice. And I can just go to activity and see the log. So the activity is running. So it is currently going, extracting the data and transferring it to the FTP server. So we'll just wait for it to finish. Right, so it's completed. I'll go back to the FTP server again. I'll just refresh this. And we have the zip here. So again, I'll just download it to my desktop. And so it's a zip, as I mentioned earlier. So if we unsub it, we get all the CSV files with all the tracking data that we wanted. So all the users that have clicked on it, or all the people that have opened the data or opened an email, or all the people that the email bounced to, you can get all that data here along with the reason. So what this could be used for basically is, I just showed you a manual example where I connected to the FTP server, but you could have a script running which could basically get this analytics data out every day, and then you can cross-reference with your e-commerce system or with your let's say with your invoice system as to which users actually bought the product or bought some service, or what kind of ROI you got out of a journey. So it is very useful for that purpose, very useful for that analytics purpose. And just to recap, yeah, so other than that, it's a very useful system to bridge basically multiple different sources with Marketing Cloud. So I think that's all from my side. Are there any questions?
Yes, Anand, just one doubt that I have. Specifically for AWS bucket. So do we need any extra location or something like that? When you have to import the data, or maybe when you are trying to transfer the data, something like that.
Yeah. So for AWS, what you need to do is, if you're exporting out data, you just need the bucket name and you need the AWS secret key and the access key. So I'll just show that to you.
Okay.
If you go to
Okay.
data management. So yeah, you do need credentials for the bucket.
Okay.
But other than that, there is no extra setup that is required on the AWS side.
Okay. Got it.
So right there, it's the bucket name and the.
Okay, right. So this location type that you have selected, so this is by default or you have created on your own?
So this is there by default. So I believe
default.
last year, yeah, Marketing Cloud added this.
Yeah,
And
yes. Okay. It has it. Okay, yeah.
So if you want to transfer data the other way around, you can just connect to the FTP import folder, and you can transfer data from AWS, let's say a Lambda function, and you can transfer data in Marketing Cloud.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
I think that's all. So some resources like Salesforce has a very good guide on this, and there is another talk by Apex Hours that's also very helpful. You can look them up. So that's all from my side.
Thanks, Anand. That was wonderful demo. So that's all for today, and hope to see you in the next session as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Yeah.
Thank you so much.